Batman wouldn't walk up a wall without one. Here's your look at the NECA toys, Batman the Classic TV series, Batarang Replica. NECA's DC prop replica line expands to include more items from the beloved 1966 Batman television series. This campy classic TV show brought the adventures of the dynamic duo to life with puns galore and plenty of bat gadgets. Get your own screen-accurate replica of Batman's iconic Batarang. It measures 15 inches when open and folds in half. Attach the included cord and transform it into a grappling hook. When Batman and Robin are out for a stroll, they end up talking to celebrities hanging out sideways. Before, of course, we get a closer look at the Batman Classic TV series Batarang, I'd like to thank the folks over at NECA that did provide this sample we could have a look at. For those interested and would like to get their hands on a prop replica of the classic Batman TV series starring Adam West and Burt Ward, it is available either online or in stores for around $30. I've got it currently propped up with the DC logo stand. It didn't actually come included with the stand, which is one missed opportunity I feel on NECA's part. With it propped up like this, though, the Batarang is going to be about 7.5 inches in height, or about 19 centimeters tall. 3 different Batman from 3 different timelines all came included with Batarangs, courtesy of the folks over at NECA. We did already get one from the 1989 movie starring Michael Keaton. Even though it was a cartoon, we did also get a Batarang from Batman Beyond. Adam West's accessory will come with its own accessory, as the Batarang from the 60s series does come included with the nylon rope. The nylon rope, if I can unravel this, is fairly long. I mean, not long enough at least to reach the top of a rooftop building, but at least it's long enough to get the idea across that it could attach onto the end of the Batarang, and you could throw it up the wall, though it's not a good idea to do that. What they do have on the end of it is a little stopper. The stopper is stopped by a knot on the end. So would the knot be a stopper? Stop that. This does, by the way, attach onto the hole on the end of the Batarang. I've currently got the Batarang folded up, as basically that's the only way of really being able to display it. The way it's sitting on itself right now, at least if you wanted to have this displayed on the shelf, although it really doesn't get as much the point across of what the Batarang would look like completely folded open, but at least it would be able to stand on its own. If you look, though, on the side of the Batarang, there's a hole right here. And let me just open this up for a second. You can see this hole would also, I suppose, give you the means if you wanted to mount this on your wall. You would only just really have to add a nail onto the wall and then just feed that through the hole. And you can hang it that way. But what we're going to do, though, is we're going to take the nylon rope. I find it actually helps first to feed the knot through. Like, say, for example, the stopper to the stopper. Stop that. If it was right on the end of the stopper like this, there's not enough space. You wouldn't be able to get that through. So what you could do instead is feed the knot through first, then feed the stopper, and then once that's then on the other side, you basically just pull it taut. Once the rope is tight, the stopper is going to prevent that nylon threading from going anywhere, and then you can have the Batarang displayed that way. It looks obviously a little bit more finished from the front than it does on the back, not only having the stopper feeding it through this way, but also as well, you don't see the sightly seam or the sightly hinges that'll be on the back of the Batarang. Let's just pull this through right now, and we'll just put that off to the side. The Batarang, as you probably had already seen, does fold in on itself. So this would be, as Julia Child would basically say the public side. This would be the side that you show your company. You don't show the side that's burnt. You show the public side. This would be the cleaner side of the two. If you flip it around to the back, you can see there the very obvious hinges. When you're folding this in, like with both the Batman Beyond Batarang didn't do that. Batarang that we will be bringing back in for a second actually did fold the wings inward, and they just hit a little button on the side, they would pop out. Anyways, the Michael Keaton Batarang, though, folded pretty much the same similar way, although his would fold on sides rather than actually in the middle solely. Adam West, though, does only fold in the middle, and when you're folding it on the side of the hinge, so you're not going to want to fold it this way. You try to fold it this way, you're only going to manage to break the Batarang. So flip it around, fold it in this way, and you can see, like, with enough space, I mean, the Batarang folds pretty compact. I mean, the only thing that's really missing is a utility belt where you'd either store it on the front, or if you like Adam West's Batman, you basically would just tuck everything behind the cape. Where it ends up going, I don't even know. The bat shield was probably the most preposterous. Just the idea that he would pull something out from the back of his cape and open this up, he'd have himself a bat shield. But if you did cosplay, this would store pretty nicely, and it just basically would store in one of the pockets, or basically just house it on the side of your utility belt. When you do open it, though, get pretty close, pretty far away from the hinge, because there's actually a magnet. There's magnets on both sides that when you then open this up, It's a pretty strong magnet. It keeps everything close together, and even when you're holding this, even if you're shaking the Batarang around, it doesn't seem like the magnets are so strong that it doesn't come loose at all. I'll bring you back in, by the way, the other Batarangs. The only thing, again, that the other Batarangs had maybe over the one that we get from Adam West is that, yes, it does come included with the trays. Michael Keaton's, of course, did fold in a similar fashion, although his folded in the middle and then folded on the sides. So his would certainly be a little bit more compact, and his would then open, if I can open it up on both sides. It basically open and have a pretty secure fastened magnet to keep everything intact. Then when we did get ourselves, say for example, I'm going to bring those all back in. When we got ourselves the Batman Beyond Batarang, again it had the vac plastic for, of course, the tray. And then with this Batarang, I know even though we've done reviews of these, the wings would then fold in, and there's a little button here on the side. Just watch your eye; those would pop out. So I think they've all really nicely replicated the Batarangs for that time period. The only thing, unfortunately, with it, though, is with Adam West, there's really no way to display it if you want to have it like this, for example. Because the corners are so round, there's no way to be able to balance on itself. What I end up doing, again, at the beginning of this review is I just had it mounted against a backdrop, like a little standee from another figure company. If you wanted to have it displayed like that, you could go that route, or you'd have to find some other way of having it upright. Again, there's always the option, if you wanted to, you could just fold it in on itself and it easily rests, because there's obviously a lot more of a footprint space here where it'd be able to rest on itself and just display it on the shelf that way. The Batarang as a whole, even though we've talked all about the functionality of it, looks pretty clean. I mean, obviously, when you're looking at it from this side, it's got all the veinage there for the bat wings. It's a pretty large size, too. It's a lot heavier than, say, Michael Keaton's. Also probably a lot heavier than the Batman Beyond Batarang. It is the heaviest. We are also as well getting a Robin and a Batgirl Batarang. Those are also going to be sold in a set. I think NECA has also even done the communicators. I'd love to get my hands on those. Yeah, short of maybe just not having a proper means of being able to display on its own if you want to have it like this, it's a nice looking Batarang. It doesn't quite, I hope the camera's picking this up. It isn't even quite black either. It's like a really, really dark purplish blue. It looks really good though. You know, again, just other than having a way to be able to display like this, at least you could fold it up and display it on the shelf like that. And then what I will end up doing is just putting it on the shelf with my other two Batarang that I've gotten so far. One from the 1989 movie, then one from Batman Beyond, which, again, both of them did have at least trays, even though I really wasn't a big fan of the trays. I thought they were kind of came across a little bit cheap. The actual Batarangs themselves were fantastic, though, and with two different functionalities, two different ways, two different gimmicks. The Batman from, obviously, the 60s series would have had a Batarang, even though he concealed everything behind underneath his cape, essentially. It's, again, a nice-looking Batarang, one that now I can add to the other two that we've gotten from NECA so far. $30. $30. That's what the Batarang's going to cost you. Not a bad price at all, really, when you consider the size of this and the fact it's made of fairly durable plastic. With the additional magnet closure, that's probably one of the added costs, not to mention that as well, it does have a nylon rope with a stopper and a stopper on the end of the stopper. Stop that. The colors are good. I think the colors are fairly accurate as well to the original 60s series. Batman used the Batarang quite frequently. Generally, he didn't use it, though, as a weapon. Most of the time, he usually used it as a grapple line. Batman would then either throw it himself, and I don't even know how he was able to get to the top of a roof like that. Or a lot of times, if he couldn't reach the heights, he'd use like the Bat-Zooka on the back of the Batmobile. Either way, though, it's a nice replica that we're getting from the folks over at NECA Toys. It is available as of right now, if you guys are interested to get this one for yourself. Thanks to the folks over at NECA that did provide this, and they did also provide the 2-pack set of Robin's Batarang along with Batgirl's. So we will be looking at that in an upcoming review. Let me know down below in the comments section if you were a big fan of the original 60s Batman series and who your favorite villain was from the series. I was always really partial to, Cesar Romero's Joker is always classic. The fact that he refused to shave off his mustache, and then, again, that was still okay. I was also a big fan of Bookworm. Oh, and King Tut. King Tut was kind of cool, too. But who's your favorite villain from the 60s Batman series? Let me know down below in the comments section. In the meantime, though, if you guys did enjoy this video, I want to throw it a like. If you guys are loving the content you guys are seeing and you want to stick around for more, if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and you're turning on the bell notification. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.